Tears started to come down my face again as I remembered my family and friends who were alive only a few hours ago. I was still crying when Jeff came back. "Don't cry," he said. "It'll be all over soon." I looked down at him and saw he was holding a jug of bleach and a can of gas. My eyes widened and I looked back at him. I didn't have any alcohol, so this will have to do. Then he began to douse me in bleach and gasoline. "We had better hurry, Jane. I've already called the fireman." Then he held up a single match, lit it, then threw it at me. The flames erupted as soon as the match came into contact with me. I screamed as loud as possible. The pain was unbearable. I could feel the flesh melting off my body, the heat invading every pore in my body, blood evaporating in its veins, and my bones becoming charred and brittle. Before I blacked out, I heard Jeff laughing. "See you later, my friend. I hope you become as beautiful as I am." Ah ha ha ha. Then everything went black. When I woke up I was sitting in a hospital bed, bandaged from head to toe. Everything was spinning, and it hurt to blink and breathe. I looked around and saw an empty room. I groaned loudly because my mouth was bandaged. Everything hurt. A nurse came in a few minutes later. "Jane? Can you hear me?" I looked towards her. The room started spinning even more. "Jane, I'm your nurse, Jackie. I don't know how to say this, but your family died in a fire. I'm sorry." Tears started falling down my face again. I sobbed. "No, honey, don't cry. You won't be able to breathe if you do." I couldn't stop. "Jane, I'm going to give you something to help you calm down, all right?" I felt something run into my bloodstream. Then I fell asleep again. When I woke up again I could move more and my body wasn't as bandaged as it was when I first woke up. I looked around and saw that my room had flowers in it. Some were fresh, some were dying. I tried to get up, but a nurse came in and put me back down. "Easy, Jane. You've been asleep for a while. Try to take it easy." I tried to speak. My voice came out rough and sandpapery. How long was I asleep?" "Almost 2 weeks. You were put in a medically induced coma in order for your body to heal. I'm the same nurse you saw the first time you woke up." "Give me a mirror," I said. "Jane, I don't think that's what—" "Get me a mirror." I felt the handle of a mirror get slipped into my hand. When I looked into the mirror I dropped in onto the floor. The shattering of the mirror didn't compare to the shattering of my realization. My skin was leathery and brown. I didn't have a single hair on my head, and the skin around my eyes were saggy. I looked almost as bad as Jeff. Everything came flooding back for me. I began to cry harder than I ever had before. The nurse was hugging me, but it didn't help much. At the height of my sobbing, I was surprised that nobody else came in to check up on me. By the time I was done, I could barely speak. Someone came into the doorway. "Excuse me, I have a delivery for a Miss Arkansas." "I'll take those." Jackie stood up and went to the doorway. I didn't want the delivery guy to look at me, so I stared at the wall in front of me. "Someone certainly cares about you, Jane. It looks like the same person who sent you all these flowers got you a package too." I looked around at her. She was holding a pink paper package tied with brown string. I reached out and took it from her. The second I took that package from her I knew something was wrong. "Excuse me, but could I have something to eat?" I asked as sweetly as possible. "Of course, I'll get you some food right away." Jackie smiled back, then left the room. My hands shook as I grabbed the string and pulled it. The paper lightly bounced up and I saw something that turned my blood to ice. It was a white mask with black around the eyes and a black feminine smile. It also had black lace covering the eye holes of the mask, so even though someone couldn't see my eyes, I could see them. There was also a long, black dress with a turtle neck, black gloves, and a black wig with beautiful curls. Along with all these things, there was a bouquet of black roses and a sharp kitchen knife. Attached to the mask there was also a note. "Jane, I'm sorry I messed up with trying to make you beautiful, so I gave you a mask that will let you seem beautiful until you get better. Also you forgot your knife. I thought you would want it back. Jeff." By the time Nurse Jackie came back, the present was hidden under my bed. I told her all that was there was the flowers. She seemed to be disgusted by them, so she threw them out. I thanked her for that. That night, when everyone was either asleep or gone home, I sneaked out. The only thing I had to wear was that dress, so I put it on and I found a pair of shoes outside in the hallway, forgotten by some careless nurse. I wore the wig to look less inconspicuous. I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't care. When I finally stopped walking, I was in front of a cemetery. I went inside and found 2 tombstones. Isabel Arkansas and Gregory Arkansas. I sat down in front of their tombstones and cried once more. When I finally sat up, the sun was beginning to rise, and so was a new chapter in my life. I took the mask and put it on, then picked up the knife and held it as tightly as I did before. Then I turned round and looked at the rising sun. On that day I swore my revenge against Jeff the Killer and donned my new name Jane Everlasting. For I want the only thing to be more everlasting for Jeff than his madness to be his death. Ever since the day I have been trying to find Jeff and kill him. Hunting him like the animal he is. I will find you, Jeff, and I will kill you. As for the photo that has been popping up of me saying, "Don't go to sleep, you won't wake up," that pretty much explains what I want to do with Jeff's victims, prevent them from becoming victims in the first place. Whoever said that I kill them so they don't get killed by Jeff is a gross overstatement. So, this is my story. Whether you accept it as fact is not up for me to decide. Now if you excuse me, the sun is going down, and the hunt is beginning once more.